Good morning. I'm so glad you're here with me today. It's our last day of this learning week, and it's our last video. The last one, the very last one. I'm sad, but I know that you'll be glad that you don't have work to do because school will be over for now. All right, so I want you to get any assignments you don't have done and send those to me when you complete them so I can give you credit for that. So do those this week. I'm taking them till Sunday. All right, so let's talk about our whole video that we've done this week about all the different things about Star Wars, okay? So we want to see like all the stuff that we talked about this week. So let's go ahead and let's turn around here and look at our screen. So we started with May the 4th be with you, which was, we talked about George Lucas. So if you haven't done your informational paragraph, you can do that and send that to me. And he is the creator of Star Wars. Then we had our word of the day, which was a Jedi. We looked at different Jedi. There's another view of those Jedi. Okay. Then we had Revenge of the Fifth, which is a play on words for Revenge of the Sith. And Sith was our word that day. Next, we had pictures of the Sith. And then we did droids yesterday, and there are some of my favorite droids, and that was our word of the day. And I asked you, do you agree with that definition up there of a droid being lifeless? Okay, so those are all the things that we've talked about so far. So let's look at what today's lesson is. And here we go. Today it is all the other characters in the Star Wars universe that are not Jedi or Sith. So we have Chewbacca, and that's a Porg. These are bounty hunters, Boba Fett, and the Mandalorian. Princess Leia, which Princess Leia is a Jedi and has Jedi powers, but she never goes to training, and she finds out later in life that she is a Jedi. She is a princess through most of the movies, and then a general later. And her husband-to-be someday is Han Solo. He is a smuggler, ends up helping the rebellion. This is Admiral Akbar, one of the generals and admirals in the war against the Empire. And there is the Millennium Falcon, which is not a person, but is also an important part of the Star Wars universe. Okay, so those are the characters. There are many other characters throughout the Star Wars universe that are not Jedi or Sith. Alexa, turn off. Okay, so let's look at our paper that we've been working on. So character traits, we did our word Jedi, the word Sith. Yesterday's word I told you to do was droid. And my words for droid are magical and friendly, metal, loyal, did I say mechanical? Mechanical, programmable, and I even put sarcastic on there for sometimes because they are sarcastic. Okay, so today for your last box, you choose whatever Star Wars character is your favorite. It could be one of those I just talked about on the screen, or any Star Wars character from the universe of Star Wars that is not a Jedi or a Sith. Okay, so I put Han Solo on my paper, and I put that he was brave, he is a rule breaker, he is innovative, creative, daring, handsome, and sarcastic also. That's one of my favorite traits about him. Okay, so you pick whatever character you would like today. So those are some things that you can do on your Foursquare. And when you get your Foursquare all done, send me a photo of it or a video of you showing it to me, whichever you want to do. So do that, and then so finish your Foursquare, and then you have your George Lucas paper, your paragraph. You have from yesterday your summary of Darth Paper Strikes Back when we finish that. And then that question, do you really think that was a good idea to call a droid that for the definition? So those are some things you could turn in for some credit this week. All right, now let's do, I'm gonna do factor cred first so I don't forget that. So I asked you yesterday if you thought that if I had met R2-D2 in Minnesota when I was a little girl, when I was 7? And the answer to that is, it's a fact. Yes, when he came to a mall that I was at, he actually like was a droid rolling around and doing all that crazy stuff. And there is a picture of me with R2-D2 at my mom's house. You can just see my eyes because I was short and little, and you can see my eyes and my little hair, and I'm right next to R2-D2. It was amazing. Maybe that's why I love Star Wars so much. I don't know. But anyway, that was a fact. Okay, so I promised you yesterday that we would I would give you a little hint as to what's coming up next after Darth Paper. So I'm gonna put you up here on our little thingy. There, ooh, it didn't flip today. Oh, look at that. Okay, book 3. Oh, The Secret of the Fortune Wookiee. So this is the next book in the Origami Yoda series. So I'm gonna start it for you today, and then sometime when the libraries open back up, or you can get this on Amazon for really cheap. I think it's like $6.95 for a paperback copy. Yes, you wanna read this. Okay, so I'm gonna read just a little bit to you. Okay, so it says, how can you have a case file without Dwight by Tommy? Every case file begins with a question. The first time it was, is Origami Yoda real? Then, will Darth Paper destroy Origami Yoda? It looked like this case file was going to start and end with the question, how can you have a case file without Dwight? Because Dwight's the guy who made Origami Yoda in the first place, and it was Origami Yoda who made so much interesting stuff happen. That was worth investigating anyway. The first case file I ever made was when Origami Yoda first showed up. I got other kids at Macquarie Middle School to tell their stories about him, and it proved, sort of, that Origami Yoda was real and could really use the Force. With the second case file, we sort of saved Dwight from getting sent to reform school, but he did end up getting suspended until January. So he did end up at a different school, and he took Origami Yoda with him. Things seem like they have worked out pretty well for Dwight. He's at Tippett Academy, where the girl he likes just happens to go. Well, that's nice for Dwight, but what about the rest of us? We're still stuck here at Macquarie Middle School without Origami Yoda to keep us from doing dumb stuff and telling us the not dumb stuff we should be doing. The first day back at school without Dwight, Kel and I were wondering if anything interesting enough to write about and doodle about was ever going to happen. So there's Origami Yoda up there. Can you see him? Right here. It definitely seemed like all the fun was over. Plus, my semi-girlfriend Sarah and Kellen's dream semi-girlfriend Rondella kept whispering with the other girls and hardly spoke to us. And without Origami Yoda's help, we had no idea what to say to them. Although I think Kellen successfully proved that a 10-minute lecture about why Boba Fett didn't die in the Sarlacc pit is not what we should say to them. And there's a picture that he drew. Kellen, there's the Sarlacc pit, Boba Fett. Harvey had plenty to say, of course. He always does, and it's always boring and loud and usually rude. And now that Origami Yoda was gone, his Darth Paper didn't have much to do, which was relief, but also kind of boring. Here's Harvey, and there's Darth Paper taking a nap. Oh, if you can't write a case file, that means I can't draw on your case file, said Kellen. What are we going to do? Maybe you could finish drawing the pictures for that graphic novel I wrote, I said. You mean the cowboys who ride around on snails? No offense, man, but that thing is boring like linoleum flooring. We gotta find something to write about a case file. Well, we didn't find anything that day, but the next day we found something. A big something. A big, hairy something. The Fortune Wookiee. And there's a picture of the word. Hairy. And that meant we had a question to answer. Can Origami Chewbacca possibly be as helpful as Origami Yoda? At first, it looked like this would be a case file without Dwight, which kind of seems sad. But before long, we started having Dwight sightings. So it looked like everything was back to normal. But of course, where Dwight is involved, nothing is ever normal. Harvey's comment. So far it looks like the real question is going to be, can this case file even be lamer than the last two? And I'm going to show you the picture of the next chapter. Says the rise of the fortune Wookiee. So, if you want to know what happens, how does the fortune Wookiee come into play? And there's a picture of the fortune Wookiee right there. He is a cootie catcher with those little things you make at school that go wah, 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 wah. And they have numbers on them and you flip the flaps open to say things. That's what this is all about. And the question is, can Origami Chewbacca help them at school, just like Origami Yoda? So, is it possible to have a case file without Origami Yoda? We'll have to read this to find out. So that's that. I know you're screaming right now because you hate it when I stop reading, but that's all we have. That's it, because this is our last video. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let me get you off here for a minute. Now, we're going to talk about another part of the Star Wars universe that is important. We just looked at these characters right here, and I even told you about the Millennium Falcon. So what we're going to look at next is, this is also something that is important to the Star Wars universe, and it is the Death Star. This is the Death Star in the first movie before they blow it up. This is the Death Star in the next movie, which is the last one, Return of the Jedi, and they blow it up again. This is before they blow it up. So that is a big, giant space station, and the eye of that shoots out a big, giant beam of lasers that blows planets up and other things. So that is why the Rebels and the Alliance have to blow it up. And there's a movie about how they get the plans to blow that up. It's called Rogue One. Excellent movie. Anyway, so what we're going to do today is we are going to blow up the Death Star. So I'm going to take you into my kitchen for a minute. So we'll walk through this way, and I will put it in here, and I will show you what we've got. Okay. Hi, Camo. Okay, so here's the Death Star. Dun, 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 dun. There it is. So we're gonna blow that up. We're gonna use the microwave as our laser beams from the Rebel Alliance ships. So in goes the Death Star. So we're putting it in here and we're gonna blow it up. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna close that and make sure it's in there good. Oh my goodness. Okay, that was a close-up of my face. Sorry about that. Okay, so it's in there, and we are now trying to blow up the Death Star. Yes. So, that is how the Rebels defeat the Empire, is by getting rid of the Death Star. And in the new movies, which I'm sure some of you have seen, that Star Killer base is very similar to the Death Star. It's just much bigger. And so that is how they end up defeating it. Oh, it's blowing up. Look at it in there. It's blowing up. It's blowing up. Can you see it? It's blowing up. Boom. Go. Shoot it, Luke. Shoot it. Pew, 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 pew. Pew, pew. Okay. Look at that. We blew up the Death Star. Yes. That is amazing. Yes. Goodbye, Death Star. Goodbye. That was awesome. So that was so fun to blow up the Death Star. That must be what it feels like to be a rebel, which we absolutely love. Let me shut this door. Somebody's on the phone in the other room. Okay, so wasn't that fun to blow the Death Star up? Now maybe you want to blow the Death Star up. So to be able to do that, I actually just drew the Death Star on a piece of paper. So you could use your plate you made that looks like the Death Star and put it on top of, let me show you what I have here. And it is ivory soap. Ivory soap. So I just took a bar of ivory soap and I put it on a microwavable plate, and then I placed the Death Star picture on top of it, and before I put it in the microwave, I took it off because you do not want to put aluminum foil in your microwave because it will blow your microwave up. So not only would you blow the Death Star up, you would blow your microwave up. So get you a piece or a bar of ivory soap and put it on a paper plate or a microwavable plate and put it on about a minute to a minute and 20 seconds, and you will see that poof up, and you can blow up your own Death Star today. Isn't that fabulous? So fun. Okay. All right. So that's all, my friends. That's all. I have enjoyed every minute of doing videos with you. And who knows, maybe I'll do some this summer just for the fun of it. I love to teach. It's my favorite thing, and I wouldn't do anything else. And I have missed you, and I love you, and I know that we're going to get through this time together, and we'll be back at school soon. Do all your little assignments. If you've missed any from before, send those in before Sunday. I will take anything you have. We have our Zoom meeting tonight. Remember to bring your favorite snacks. And if you got a Star Wars t-shirt, you can wear that. If you made your lightsaber, you can bring that. Super fun. And I will see you this evening at 7. And then next week we will have our final Zoom meeting for your graduation from 5th grade to go into the middle school. And I love you. And may the Force be with you always. And remember, kindness is the language that everyone can hear.